Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday, the 1st of November 2022. In today's Millwall news, Peter de Savary. Remember him? Well, he has passed away. Millwall Football Club is saddened to hear of the passing of Peter de Savary at the age of 78. Peter was the Lions chairman between 2005 and 6, taking over from Theo Peters and preceding John Berylson. Everyone associated with Millwall would like to offer their condolences to Peter's family and friends at this very sad time. And then it ends there. I'm pretty sure that Mr. de Savary still owned some large chunk of shares in the club to this day. Yeah, so after John Berylson took over, he kind of, or maybe I'm thinking of the other guy. Was it Lacey? Maybe it's him who still owns the shares. I'm not too sure. But let's read this from dailymail.co.uk. Obviously, very distracting with all this crap that goes around the outside, but we'll see what we can do. Tycoon yachtsman Peter de Savary, who built property empire boasting Land's End and John O'Groats, despite being expelled from school aged 16 after being caught in bed, headmaster's au pair, dies suddenly aged 78 near Thames houseboat. Peter de Savary, one of Britain's most colourful characters, died at the weekend. The 78-year-old entrepreneur is understood to have died near his houseboat. He once owned both Land's End and John O'Groats in his property empire. Peter de Savary built a property empire boasting both Land's End and John O'Groats, despite being why do they repeat that? De Savary was one of Britain's most colourful characters, died at the weekend. His third wife, Lana, told the Mail Peter was extraordinary, not just as a businessman, but as a wonderful mentor, loving husband, and father of 5 daughters. He was remarkable. An enormous gap will be left in our lives. It is understood that de Savary died in his houseboat on the River Thames at Chelsea. He put his Cotswold mansion on the market for £10.5 million in 2016, so that Lana would not be burdened with the 207-acre Manor Hall estate after he was gone. So 2016, that's quite a way, many years ago. But it seems he was already contemplating the end in 2016. And there's a picture of his boat there. I don't want to risk leaving her with a house of this size to cope with single-handed, he said at the time. The son of a French-born Essex farmer, de Savary was expelled from Charterhouse School aged 16 after allegedly being caught in bed with the headmaster's au pair. He made his first million by the time he was 30 after setting up an import-export business selling goods to Africa. He then amassed a fortune from a regeneration of industrial wasteland. He had interest in shipping and petrol, but is probably best known for his work in hospitality. He founded the St James Club franchise, with venues from London, Paris to New York, Los Angeles, and Antigua. There's something crazy that happened to him while traveling with his family from the Caribbean in 1987. He was in a plane crash that left one of his young daughters having to be revived on the beach. Damn. The keen yachtsman de Savary led the British sailing team in 2 failed attempts to win the America's Cup. And there he is with a Millwall scarf as Millwall chairman. So he had interest in shipping and petrol, but is probably best known for his work in hospitality, as pictured Peter de Savary at Millwall in 2005. He also started the Carnegie Club at Skibo Castle in Scotland, which was the backdrop of Madonna's wedding to Guy Ritchie in 2000. While travelling with his family, we just read that. The near-death experience proved pivotal. At that point, my philosophy on life changed, he said. When you genuinely look death in the eye, you know it's a pretty tenuous thing we're hanging on to. Savary announced he will not be leaving any of his reputed £100 million fortune to his 5 children, explaining they will not be given the responsibility and the awesome task of trying to preserve or augment or carry on any of my efforts. Well, that's an interesting thing there, but so who does get the money? Well, you would assume he leaves it to his wife, and then, well, surely his wife would give it to the kids. I mean, you would hope so. But there you go, Peter Savary passed away at the weekend on his houseboat in Chelsea. So rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace. Moving on to the Loanwatch from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall Loanwatch. Goalkeeper makes second debut for non-league club. Ryan Sanford helped Maidstone United pick up a valuable point and return to the National League outfit. Millwall goalkeeper Ryan Sanford made his second debut for the National League side Maidstone United after rejoining them on a 3-month loan. The 23-year-old had a stint at the Gallagher Stadium in 21-22, but it was cut short after he suffered an ankle injury that saw him return to South Bermondsey. He since had spells at Weymouth and Dover Athletic. He returned to the 5th tier with the Stones ahead of their home match against Yeovil Town. Sanford conceded early on to striker Alex Fisher, but made a number of saves to keep the hosts in the game, allowing him to push forward with a stoppage time equaliser, which was scored by Regan Booty in the 96th minute. In Scotland, Alex Mitchell played the full 90 minutes of St Johnstone's 1-0 win against Kilmarnock. Ash Taylor's early own goal was enough to see the hosts pick up all 3 points, while Mitchell hoped his side to secure their 3rd clean sheet of the season. The result moves the Saints up to 8th place in the Scottish Premiership ahead of hosting Champions League outfit Rangers at McDermott Park on Sunday. I'm not too sure. That's midday on Sunday. I think that might be on Sky Television. Joe Wright missed Bath City's 1-0 defeat at home to Dover in the National League South for a shoulder injury, while Chinockley wasn't involved in Torquay United's 4-0 defeat away at Notts County. And we're moving on now because obviously there are also midweek games happening. So this is the loan report from millfc.co.uk. They go over most of the stuff that we've just read from Southern News, but they also say Chinockley, whose loan expires this week, was not named in the goal squad for Torquay United's 4-0 loss in Notts County. And then they give the actual games here. Ryan Sanford playing tonight, Tuesday, 1st of November, kick-off 7:45 p.m. That game was a 0-0 draw, and Ryan Sanford played all 90 minutes, so he gets a clean sheet there. Joe Wright again not involved for Bath City, so the shoulder injury obviously needs some time to heal and get better. Well, obviously, if you're a goalkeeper, shoulder injury is not ideal. It really isn't. Chinockley wasn't involved for Torquay United tonight as they beat Aldershot Town 6-1. So there you have it. And now moving on to some first team news related to tomorrow's game. Birmingham boss Eustace has been a great fit. Millwall boss Gary Rowett ready for a tough championship encounter. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Gary Rowett has described John Eustace as a great fit for Birmingham City as the Millwall manager prepares to take his team to his former club on Wednesday night. The Lions chief had 106 matches in charge of the West Midlands club before leaving in December 2016. Eustace succeeded former Charlton boss Lee Bowyer at Birmingham City last summer, signing a 3-year contract in July. The Blues are unbeaten in their last 4 home championship matches and defeated high-flying QPR 2-0 on Friday night. They are 12th in the table. They've started really well, Rowett told us. John Eustace looks like he's a really good fit for the club. He's gone in there and done a really good job so far. To initially get that positivity from the fans back that they missed for a while. It feels like he's got a real connection with them and he's got a good group of players who are working incredibly hard. A little bit like ourselves. He had that initial stabilisation, but then quite well organised. You saw against QPR, they are more than a match for anyone, particularly at home. It will be a tough game like any other. We'll have to try our best not to give sloppy goals away, let alone miss hit crosses in the top corner like in Saturday's 1-0 reverse at Huddersfield. That would be nice. It always makes it hard when you go 1-0 down at these places. Indeed. So, tomorrow's game, it is on Sky Sports Red Button if you have that facility available to you. But you can also pay Millwall Football Club £10 match pass to watch the game on Millwall TV tomorrow. So there it is. If you want to subject yourself to that, and who knows which Millwall will turn up? Will it be the one that played at Bristol City, or will it be the one who were abject away at Huddersfield? We don't know. Now, Birmingham City away for Millwall. We won there in 1967 and 1968, and we didn't win there again till 2015. Many years and many games not getting a win there, and obviously you can see we won in 2015 and we've been unbeaten there since. We won 3 games and then drawn 3 games. We have not lost away at Birmingham City in our last 6 games, which is worrying because you got to think it's due. And one of the reasons behind that is what we just heard from the South London press story. The new owners came in, bombed out Gary Rowett for no particular reason, harshly some would say, and they brought in John Frankie Zola. And how did that go for them? Well, not very fucking well. They managed to stay in the championship, but not really competing for anything. Perennially mid-table, sometimes struggling with relegation. And we've been up there to St Andrews in 6 games in a row and come away with at least a point, which is weird as well. The last 3 games have been draws. 3 different draws, a 1-1, a 0-0 and a 2-2. So there's that. But like I said, what I think has happened is obviously the new owners come in. They're trying to run it like a business and probably not lose money. Put some budget constrictions on, which is, you would think, financial fair play. That's what they're trying to do. But what's happening with COVID now? Everyone else has to do that as well. It's kind of leveled the playing field. And you've got teams like Birmingham, QPR actually playing a lot better and competing now, which is interesting. And Millwall as well. We haven't got the most amount of money to spend, so COVID situation has kind of leveled the playing. So moving on now to head-to-head from whoscored.com. So here we go. Birmingham have drawn their last 3 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. Birmingham have been drawing at both half-time and full-time in their last 3 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. Millwall have failed to win 13 of their last 14 away matches. So indeed, the last 14 away matches, only the Bristol City away game that we won 2-1 was a win. Millwall are undefeated in the last 7 matches against Birmingham in all competitions. So that's home and away. And if we go here and change this to home and away games, so there's the last 6 matches up at Birmingham. Birmingham have won 0. There've been 3 draws and 3 wins for Millwall. And interestingly, 4 clean sheets for Millwall and only 1 clean sheet for Birmingham. That 0-0 draw 2 years ago. Not only that, but if you look at how many goals they've scored against us, only 3. Whereas we've scored 7. 7 goals in 6 games for Millwall, 3 goals in 6 games for Birmingham. Struggling massively, they are. The cards are the same, 10 and 10. So there's that. So here we are in a table, pretty much not that far apart actually. Millwall, 8 wins, 2 draws, 7 defeats. And Birmingham in 12th place, 3 places behind Millwall. 6 wins, 5 draws, and 6 defeats. They've scored 18 goals but conceded only 50. So, a worse attack than us, but a better defence. Now, if we scroll down and if we look at their last home games and our last away games, so there you can see. So, we went on a little run from Blackburn to Rotherham, Bristol City, where we actually scored some goals, but back to how it was before against Huddersfield, we failed to score, and that was the case against Burnley, against Norwich, against Sheffield United. We failed to score. Technically, we failed to score against Swansea, even though it was a 2-2 draw, because it was 2 away goals, 2 own goals by Swansea that gave us those 2 goals. So, yeah, we've only technically scored 4 away goals this season. If you look at Birmingham, obviously, bit of a discipline problem, is it? They've had 2 red cards in the last 6 home games. That's not too good. But last time out, they beat QPR, who were top of the table at the time. They've drew 1-1 with Burnley. Burnley. Arguably the best team in the league. They beat Bristol City 3-0, drew with Coventry 0-0, and narrowly lost, it seems, to Norwich 2-1, but they did lose to Wigan 1-0. Oh, interesting. So they've kept 3 clean sheets in the last 6 home games, and only failed to score in 2 of the last 6 home games. Here's the strengths and the weaknesses. You would say Millwall look very good there, according to this, but this is an away game. Millwall will score from a direct free kick, extremely likely. Millwall will steal the ball from the opposition often. Birmingham will steal the ball from the opposition often as well. Well, that sounds fun, yeah. So let's move on now to, actually, you know what, before we do that, let's look at home and away standings. Obviously, we're all very good at home, but Birmingham, 1 3, drawn 3, lost 2 at home. So not the best at home, but not the worst. In terms of Millwall away, second worst team in the league. This is overall, not just the last 6 games. This is so far this season. 1 win, 2 draws, 5 defeats, only scoring 6 goals, but conceding 13. So yeah, not the best of away form. Not the best for Millwall. Moving on now to the preview and prediction from WhoScored.com. There's the missing players. So they've obviously got a few injuries. We've got a lot of injuries as well. There's the match facts that we've already read. And here's the prediction. Defensive duo, Manny Longello, who we will link to in the summer. He's on loan from West Ham. And Austin Trusty both found themselves on the score sheet Friday night as Birmingham shocked high-flying QPR. John Eustace's men have taken 10 points from their last 5 league games. Millwall's strong run of form came to an end in surprising fashion on Saturday as they slumped to a 1-0 away defeat against struggling Huddersfield. The South London club have won 4 on the spin prior to that defeat and sit in 8th place ahead of their trip to St Andrews. And they predict Birmingham 1, Millwall 1. Okay, so let's see what David Pratt predicts over at SkySports.com. Reminder, this game is on the red button. Here you go, live on Sky Sports Football's red button. I was so impressed with Birmingham Friday night. Some savvy loan recruitment of Annabelle Magiri, Austin Trusty, and Christian Bielik has made such a difference to the side this season. Mill typically saw a 4-game winning run came to an end at a troubled Huddersfield on Saturday, which just about sums up the championship. From what I saw from the Blues, I have to back them for a home win here, and Prutton predicts Birmingham 2, Mill 0. Indeed, indeed. Well, it seems even though we have got the terrible away form, we're on a bit of a run at Birmingham. And you think, why is that? When will that end now? Is it overdue? Should we be losing this game? I don't know. It depends what team was played. You think I was kind of thinking that some players were being rested in the Huddersfield game for the Birmingham game, namely George Saville. And you would hope that the changes would be rung because that performance was absolutely terrible. I expect to see Mason Bennett here coming in. I expect to see George Saville coming in. Other than that, I'm not too sure, but I expect to see some changes. Maybe Hanneman could come in again. And I want it to want to put the life back into the team. Because that Huddersfield performance, not the result, the performance was absolutely abject. We didn't have a single shot until the subs came on. All the subs had all the 4 shots. We had 4 shots. One of them was on target. Again, Tyler Berry being the bright spark of the day. But you've got to be fearful. It doesn't look too good for Millwall at the moment. It does not look too good. And at this moment in time, I've got to say, I think probably going to be Birmingham 2, Millwall 1. I'm sad to say, I think that's quite likely. And that's my prediction. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.